Hello, this is Kim with Standing on Solid Ground. I am the host of this spiritually motivated and inspirational podcast. And today I would like to talk about us making an exchange with God. When we think about exchanges, we are thinking about taking in something that either doesn't work, it's broken, it's not what we were looking for, doesn't fit, too big, too small. Just all kind of reasons why we take something back and we exchange it for something that we think will fit or that we know that we need or it will work. Sometimes even with the exchanges, they're not guaranteed. But with God, everything is perfect. There is a guarantee that whatever we exchange with God is going to work. If we go to Matthew 11:28, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burdens are light. Now, the beautiful thing about it is this is an exchange because we are labor and we are heavy laden. And with that in mind, Jesus is saying, he is meek and he is lowly. He is humble. And he doesn't think more of himself than he ought to. He is compassionate and he empathizes with what we are going through. He is godly, but he was earthly bound or earthly at the time when he walked this earth. But when we make an exchange with God, we are supposed to make it with the understanding of not only to trade in what we have for what he has for us, but there is a blessing in behind that exchange. Now, let's just say, if we look at Job 28:17, the gold and the crystal cannot equal it, and the exchange of it shall not be for jewels of fine gold. There is an imbalance of change. If we look at Ezekiel 48:14, and they shall not and they shall not sell of it, neither exchange, nor alienate the first fruits of the land, for it is holy unto the Lord. Now in this case, God is not wanting them to exchange their first fruits for whatever it is, exchange the good stuff for something bad or something evil. If we look at Matthew 16:26, for what is a man profit if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul, his own soul? And what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? See, Jesus exchanged his life of godliness for a life of carnalness. to save the souls of mankind. He paid the debt for his life for ours, his soul for our souls, his godliness for our ungodliness. So he made a good exchange. If we look at Leviticus 27:10, he shall not alter it nor change it. A good for a bad, or a bad for a good. And if he shall at all change beast for beast, then it and the exchange thereof shall be holy. There are good exchanges and there are bad exchanges. But nevertheless, whenever we exchange our life for wickedness, for godliness, that's a good exchange. But there are those that are at the front line of Satan's county, that they're exchanging their souls for whatever it is that they want. But when we go to God's counter, we're exchanging what we don't want for what God knows we need. There is a difference. What we see with our eyes often get us in more trouble than what God has placed in our hearts and in our souls. If we decided to make an exchange for something, we would want something better, wouldn't you think? Not something worse. We will want something more abundant in our life, not something less in our lives. Although many may have the monies to do everything in the world that they want to do, at some point they'll get bored because they can't have everything that they want. And often what happens is, with the money that they have, they start making investments other places to make money in other areas. And with these investments, they're making exchange. They're putting in their money for an exchange for a profit. So more money on top of money. But after a while, you'll get tired. You know, so I got all the money I need. I got the house that I want. I got the cars that I want. I have all the clothes that I can ever possibly need. I got the jewelry all the jewelry I want, shoes, purses. I have people that will cook for me and clean my house and watch my kids. I can take a private jet anywhere in the world whenever I feel like. But at some point, there is a point where you have everything, but you feel like you're missing something. You feel like something is missing. That you don't have everything. So what happens is that people will go out and get into ventures. They'll start making investments, possibly in small businesses. They may make investments into an idea. Someone came up with an idea, and so they start making investments. They're trying to fill a void that can't be filled with money. Money is great to have. I'm not gonna knock it. If I were a millionaire or billionaire today, yes, I would be absolutely ecstatic. However, I can't leave my first love. I can't put that exchange in. I put in my soul for exchange for riches. I can't do that. Again, Matthew 16:26 says it all. For what is a man profiting if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? It sounds good. It feels good to have the money to be able to do anything that you want to do, be able to go anywhere you want to go, be able to just buy whatever you want to buy, and you never have to worry about money. The problem is you're trying to fill a void that cannot be filled with money. Of course, people will say money can buy happiness. It can buy some happiness. It can buy things to make you happy, but it cannot buy you the full happiness that you're looking for. And many possibly will say, well, you don't have it, so you wouldn't know. And that could be a true statement. However, what I do have, you can't buy from me. If people could buy heaven, they probably would. Heaven, the gold streets alone will bankrupt a lot of people. I'm not even going to talk about the 12 foundation. I'm not going to talk about the 12 gates. I'm not going to even talk about God's throne. Not even mention the mansions that Jesus went in, the places that Jesus prepared for us. One mansion will bankrupt probably this whole earth because we wouldn't be able to make an exchange for it. The debt that the United States is in couldn't compare to the debt that many of us would be in if we tried to buy heaven. There are those that probably be bold enough to think that they can buy them a seat. You can't even buy you a seat. You can't even afford that seat. You know why? Because Jesus put the bar too high for us to even reach. What bar was that? He died on the cross. How many people are willing to go to a cross and be nailed to by hands and by feet? How many people will be able to be crowned with a crown of thorns? How many people would be able to withstand what he was? He paid the price for us. He offered up his life for us to be able to just come unto him. There is no way that anybody can buy a seat because Jesus had put the bar up too high for us to even obtain a seat. God only gives the seats to those that have earned the seats. I believe the apostles will have seats. They've earned that. I believe the 12 apostles will have a seat. And with them, they will only obtain these seats because God assigned them to them. If we look at 1 Corinthians 6:20, for ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. It belongs to God. Our body and our spirit belongs to God. We were bought with a price. And who paid it? Jesus. Jesus paid the price. We have to get to a point in our walk with Christ that the exchange that we will be making in Matthew 11:28, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. This exchange for my yoke is easy and my burdens are light. Because he asked us in 29 to take my yoke upon you and learn of me. What we're doing, we're taking the labor and the heavy laden parts of our life and laying it on the counter. And in exchange, God or Jesus is giving us his yoke. And his only instruction is for us to learn of him. That's the only instruction. If you look at that, he said, take this yoke upon you and learn of me. So take the yoke. That's one step of it. Learning of me is the second step. That's it. And he further explains, for I am meek and lowly in heart. I am humble. I am empathetic with you. I'm understanding what you are going through. And ye shall find rest unto your souls. Now, once you take this yoke and once you learn of him, that we will find rest unto our souls. And then he later came with, you know how they have the warning labels on the side? Well, Jesus came with a little bit more. It's not a warning, it's informative information. For my yoke is easy and my burdens is light, or my burden is light. In other words, handle with care. Because Jesus has already paid the price for us. We can be weary. We can be all over the place. But Jesus don't want us to be like that. He wants us to bring these things, and in exchange, he wants to give us back, or give us what he wants us to have. But in doing so, we have to be willing to go to him. There are always going to be two lines. One for God and one for Satan. Now the line for Satan is extremely long. You're going to be waiting for a while. But Jesus don't have a line. You don't have people wait in line, because he takes care of whatever it needs to be taken care of at the time that one approaches the counter. He takes care of it immediately. He let us know exactly what we need. And he will not miss anybody at any time, because everybody's needs are important to God, and he's not going to leave anybody waiting. Now, being patient and waiting on the Lord is one thing, but when our hearts are broken and our spirits are down, got to get the answer to us. We just got to pay attention to watch where it's coming from. So whenever you're going through all your troubles and all your pains, and you need the Lord to come, He said, you draw yourself nigh unto Him, or close or near to Him, and He will draw nigh unto you. He will draw close or near to you. When you go and you trade in that labor and heavy laden, He will give in exchange for His yoke, and all He asks is that you learn of Him. That's simple. But what makes it difficult is because we have to make a conscious decision to follow Him. This is Kim with Standing on Solid Ground. You have yourself a wonderful and blessed day.